Alright, welcome. So today I'm going to show how to isolate the drawing here and make it look nice, make it look like it was made on digital. This subject is a bit harder because we have some blue lines going through, but thankfully they are blue. That means we can isolate them because they're a different color, making it a lot easier to fade them out or whatever. So we're going to start by opening the hue and saturation. Yeah, and we're going to choose the blue and we can mess around with the lightness here. We want to try and make it blend in with the paper as well as possible. So for that I'm going to desaturate it and somewhere there. But we can see that this blue line is sort of split up between two of the categories here. So we're gonna have to mess with both of them. What I failed to do was edit the hue of it properly. So we can make the blue more yellow like that. Yeah, so it really blends in with the paper. I want to try and get about the same color on that other blue here. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. We might not get the top here looking as nice. We can fix that by trying to do a second version of it that's more geared towards this blue here. If we can't get one side of the whole picture at one time, we can sort of split it up between a few versions and we can try and make it look good in one part and then another one, and then we can sort of patch it together from there. This is a bit finicky, but this step is usually not going to be part of the course if you're just doing a normal. I think we have enough saturation right there that we can start messing with it. When we've sort of isolated or removed the grid, now comes the normal part. For all of you who don't have grids in your paper or had a really light grid, this is the sauce right here. So we want to bring up the threshold tool, and on here we can find the differences in lightness. We're gonna have to do multiple layers, so I'm gonna duplicate this just to be sure. I'm gonna duplicate this one as well, because there's a shade in this picture, and that shade is gonna make it a bit harder. Wait, let me try something I've never tried. Maybe if we sort of try to cancel the shade out with a gradient, that might work. I'm not sure though. So let's make it radial, because we can see that the shade is sort of a circle. Okay, so we can see sort of how the shade has been cancelled out a bit by our gradient, and we're going to see if that made any difference. Yeah, I think so. Alright, so there we have a pretty good slice of it, but we can see how the lower part is less defined because it was lighter. So that's why we have multiple pitches, so we can go in and sort of tune this one to the bottom of it instead of the top. Oh, I just noticed there's a little signature there. Okay, so we're gonna start by trying to make it work for these two pitches. So in this one, we don't want all of this because it's looking pretty gross. Just want to do that, and now we can see how we have a pretty good version of it. I'm gonna make a new visible layer as to merge them. We want to make another new layer, set our background. I'm gonna do white, and on this one we can go into colors and choose color to alpha. What this is going to do is make all the white invisible. You see, we have only the outline that we can do whatever we want with. And I'm gonna remove some of this shit because we're not really interested in it. See that it's on this, yeah, that's part of our hair, but I thought it looked weird in this one, so I'm gonna remove it as well. See, this is where you can also make artistic changes in your post-production, so to say. It's still a bit squared off right here, but we're gonna go with it. At this stage, you can also color the picture. Like I said, we have the outline on top, so what we could do, we can choose a brush here, and we can sort of, let's make it beneath the outline, so you can see we can just sort of fill it in, and we can do what we want here. Let's make the lips a different color, make them a bit maroon. Oh, that looks so dumb. Maybe teeth look better. I don't know. Oh well, but that's kind of the point. The next thing I would try and do is make a new visible again, so we have all of this in the same, and you can apply an effect called oilify that sort of smoothens it out, because you can see this is pretty jagged right now. Mess around with the settings a bit to get what you want. The higher your resolution, the more leeway you have here, the better you can make it look. But if you have a lower resolution picture or the lines are thinner as here, then it might not be as nice. Let's try that. It takes a while for it to load, but it's worth it. Alright, so you can see how that sort of killed some of the detail, so we want to reverse that. I would duplicate this, and then we can repeat it on one of the layers, and then we can sort of stack them, so we have both the one with the effect and the other one. This is getting into the more nitpicky stuff, but this is what you might have to do to make it look nice. So let's again do the color to alpha. A very nice thing of working in black and white. So if we remove this layer, we can see how that layer sort of filled in some shadows and stuff. It makes it look a bit fuller, especially around the eyes here. It looks a bit smoother and stuff. And the last thing you need to know is the perspective tool. So if you take a picture of your paper, it's probably not going to be right perspective wise. This is very good, so this might just need some rotation, and you could just add a white background here to make it look nice. But yeah, that's how you take your drawing from a paper into the box, make it look alright, and then you get something like this. So let's see if we have the before. So you can see how we sort of extracted the lines that we wanted. There's some loss, it looks a bit grainy. Some drawings are way better for this than others. I'm gonna show you an example of one I did earlier today. This picture, and through the techniques you just saw, it got turned into this. And you can see how it's a bit more presentable, so to say. Like this drawing picture is impressive because it shows like how it was drawn, you know? It's a bit more raw. But if you want to use it for a profile picture or something, this might be better, or some art for whatever. You might prefer this version of it. The reason that makes this picture a lot easier is because you can see how well it stands out from the paper. So if you plan on doing this after you're done drawing, you might want to really fill in your lines to make them easier to transfer to your computer, if that makes sense. All right. Make your shit as good as you can. Like your art, you're making your art a disservice by not giving it that extra little polish. If you spent 3 hours drawing something, maybe spend 10 minutes fixing it in post, you know? Or not fixing it, but like editing it, you know? So keep creating and have a nice day.